everybody. My name is Dave Hodges. I am the host of the Common Sense Show. I am a proud American. I am America first. Help other countries. Be good neighbors, not fight wars. Give people business opportunities so they can work with American corporations based in America. That's who I am. And that's what the show stands for. But unfortunately, we're being run by globalists that are taking money from outside their congressional and presidential salaries, and they're allowing themselves to be unduly influenced. I don't think treason is too strong of a term, but certainly impeachable offenses are there. You're being ruled by an illegitimate government with people who do not have your best interests at heart. The job of government is to protect your rights and save your lives. That's what they're supposed to be doing. And they're doing anything but, with a few exceptions. And then there's some grandstanders that pretend they're doing something. Oh, we got the committee for this, we got the committee for that. But at the end of the day, they don't do jack squat to protect you. And I'm going to talk to you about what's going on in Europe, and that contagion is already here. And I've got a related ad that I think could help you. It's helped me. It's going to help you. And I usually put my ad in at the beginning, a live read. I'm not going to. I'm going to save it for the end. It'll be very short and sweet because the evidence will be self-apparent. My position is this. We are at 200,000 plus on this site. I would like now to see this 22 million because we need to be a force for taking America back. And we're going to be talking about some strategies in relation to that. And I'm not going to pull any punches. I'm not going to pull any punches at all. And you are involved in a time in America where this is our last chance. And I do mean this sincerely. This is our last chance. Deutsche Bank floundered, has failed, despite the fact that they have hoarded gold now for years, and we've reported on it. It still is not enough to save them from their bad economic decisions. And most of the reason they're broke is because of ESG system in Europe. It's not called ESG, but it's the same thing. And they have wasted their money on woke. They have not protected their shareholders. They have not protected their account holders. And Deutsche Bank is in the toilet. And they say, oh, they've rescued this guy's coming. No. There's no rescuing this bank. There's no rescuing the European economy. When the UK defense minister comes out in October and says 10,000 people are going to freeze to death this year because of energy cutbacks, and can you believe they even said that? But they did. We reported on it here. I played his clip live here. And it's true all the way through. Germany's this way. They're all this way. They want to engage in a suicidal war with Russia, and now China will be involved. They have the alliance. What will that do to their economy? Exactly. And by the way, I had the number written down here. I don't think I have it on this sheet. But 3/4 of all NATO nations have not paid their fair share. Guess who pays it? You do. I do. That's it. Whatever it takes, right, Joe? Isn't that what you said? Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Global governance. Crash the system. Build back better. Eat bugs. Don't travel. Can't drive. Can't speak against anything. We'll tell you how you spend your money with CBDC. This is what's happening, folks. This systemic collapse of the banks is coming. We already have 2 majors gone down in this country, and for the same reasons we see in Europe. And now we have 200 banks on the watch list. And the Federal Reserve just loaned out another $378 million of money in thin air. We are losing our petrodollar status. We don't have anything backing our money. How long until we hyperinflate? When the Federal Reserve runs out of money to lend. And Moody's is downgrading U.S. credit. I don't know what, but it's probably going to go down a whole letter grade. They've been blasting America, so the banks are in trouble. We have 18 months of darkness at minimum. That's what's in the public eye. Now, what does this mean for you?
Salakia, freaking ads.
Public eye. Now, what does this mean for you? What does it mean for you? Is there anything that you can do to mitigate this? Not 100%, but you can survive. And you can survive with most everything you have intact. Now you're saying, Dave, they could just come and take everything from us. Well, then there's going to be conflict. But I'm talking about within the existing system, you can choose to stand pat and get swallowed and go right down the drain with the rest of these jack squatters, or you can be smart about what you do with your resources. Now, if you're living month to month, excuse me, this message will have some application to you. But if you're a little beyond month to month, and you have a retirement, even if you're month to month and you have a retirement, you need to hear this. If you have any money in the bank at all, you need to hear this. This is a call to arms, a call to action, a time to stand up and take care of yourself. You don't need to protest. We don't need to rush the Capitol. We don't need to do this. We don't need to do that, because even if you do those things and you go protest, they're gonna basically withhold exculpatory evidence, tapes and videos, and they're gonna have infiltrators encouraging you to break the law. We've been down this road. You don't have to protest, but you do have to take action. And what action can you take? Well, you can do what I did. I saw this coming, and you heard me report on this. If you've been following me for any length of time, I've been broadcasting now for 16 years on radio. And then podcasting, gosh, I don't know, what, 5-6 years, and it's taken off like a jet. But I've been on TV now, going on 3 years. I've been writing articles for 20 years. And I've been really consistent. I said, we can't maintain this. I remember when we were fighting against McCain, and we would have our little roundtable meetings with our community group, and he was trying to steal our land without compensation. And we'd even talk about the economy. And one of the things we all said was, how is this economy still standing? Well, because enough of the petrodollar was still in place. That's why. Today, that's disappeared. You are living on borrowed time. Now, the banks can take your money to cushion their fall. Dodd-Frank, I say it 4 or 5 times a day. Dodd-Frank. It's a law that passed in 2010 with Obama's encouragement. How this got through, well, the mainstream media covered it up for the people. They didn't know. And if people knew, they wouldn't have all their money in the bank. But look it up, Dodd-Frank. Please look it up. Because they say that when you put your money in the bank, you're an unsecured creditor. The money belongs to them. The only reason they haven't taken it yet is because they want you to keep putting money in the bank. But when they absolutely need it to soften their fall, where they can pull out what they want for themselves so they can walk away and put braces on their kids' teeth, is because you won't do it if you know they're going to take it. Well, I'm telling you, they're going to take it. So what you need to do right now, you go, Dave, this will cause a banking collapse. You mean it'll cause what's already started? That's my answer. It'll cause what's already started. Okay, so here's what you do. Number one, if you have any retirement accounts, 401k or IRAs, get them out of the bank. Gold back them. Let Noble Gold do this for you. Now, why do I say Noble Gold? Because I looked at a lot of gold companies, and I've advertised for other gold companies in the past. This is the only one I'll advertise for now. There may be other reputable ones out there. Don't know, don't care. Because I know Noble Gold does a great job. They will get your money out of your retirement, and they'll put it into gold backed. And they'll do it pretty inexpensively too. And when you do that, they'll even give you this thank you note that's a 1/4 American Gold Eagle coin, just a way of saying thank you. But that's number one. Get your retirements away from the banks, because they're going to seize them. Janet Yellen's already looking at this as national property. We've reported on that twice on this channel. That has not been covered on Fox. Isn't that interesting? We think Fox is the great purveyor of truth. Tucker Carlson's the great purveyor of truth as far as he's allowed to go. But he has not even covered this. But I'm telling you, you look it up. Look it up. I'm right on the money with what I'm saying. Janet Yellen has designs on custodial care for your retirement. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. When she has custody, she owns what you made. Stealing your money. Now, what about savings account? What about checking accounts? Money markets? Same thing. Same law. Dodd-Frank. 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 So what would you do? Well, could you do? Maybe keep 3, 4, 5 months of income in the bank. That's it. Have lots of cash on hand because cash will be good. Even when the banks crash, if you look at past history, 30 to 60 days out, you'll still be able to spend your cash. There'll come a time when people won't take it, but it won't be immediate. So you're going to want to have some cash on hand. But the reality is this, is that if you keep more than that in the bank, say goodbye to it, tie a ribbon around it, and put a balloon on it, and fly it over to America to the Federal Reserve Bank because that's who's going to steal it. Or you can take it out and put it in precious metals. You say, Dave, I have to be able to buy stuff. Okay, you can. That's why you first have cash. But eventually you'll be in a trading and bartering society. Gold will back up the value of what you've already earned. It's not really an exchange medium like a dollar bill. It can be. You can have gold coins. Silver is more amenable to that. Noble Gold can explain that to you a lot better than I can. The other thing that I'm recommending that people do right now is get into palladium and platinum because the new Green Deal is not going away, and those are the two primary minerals and elements that they use in the production of their intervention strategies. That's not going to go away, so you'll make money there. Gold was the #1 earning asset last year, and you go, well, it's going up. It's going to go up even more, a lot more. If the dollar collapses and the banks collapse with it, you know what happens? I keep reading this. Gold will go anywhere between $20,000 to $30,000 an ounce. This is now the time. Silver is a close second. Those are the 4 areas that I capitalize on. Now let me send you an information packet. Okay, Noble Gold will not call you if I send this to you. Go to DaveHodgesGold.com, DaveHodgesGold.com, and I will electronically send you explanations for everything I've said here with more detail. Then when you have questions or you want to take action, you can call Noble Gold at the number that's listed there at 877-646-5347, and you'll get someone, and not a call center. It's not me, I helping you better much. No. You're going to get someone who's a professional who can handle your account. But I gotta warn you, you have to call them, number 1. Number 2, you'll have to close the deal. You know what do you mean? You have to tell them, I want to move forward with this at this time. They will not push you into it. How do I know? Because I've done 6 deals with Noble Gold. About ready to do a 7th. And the palladium and platinum, I'm going to really step up on that because that's not going anywhere. So I hope that you'll do that. Go to DaveHodgesGold.com. Folks, the Europeans are showing us what our future is. They will be in absolute riotous behavior in the next few weeks. We're already seeing signs of it in France over an issue. When the food starts to disappear from the shelves, then that's when.
This $30 concealed holster is taking the world by storm, and the left doesn't want you to have it. It's made for
disappear from the shelves, then that's when things are going to get really serious. That's when things are going to get really serious. And what will they do to distract? Well, they'll probably start a war with Russia. But I would say this to the citizens of the world: make it clear to Putin that you plan to stand down and not honor any draft. We don't, like here in America, we don't have a treaty obligation with Ukraine. I had no problem with trying to stop the Russian advance. I have a problem with all the waste. 60% of the Pentagon's budget can't be accounted for. I have a problem with that. I have a problem that we don't have line item donations to Ukraine and we're not holding them accountable for spending the money in the manner in which we're sending it. I have a huge problem with that. And we are overspending to the point where we've compromised our own defense. As per the Navy Secretary, do we defend Ukraine or America? We have to choose. That's what he said. So quoting him, I totally agree with that. We are first. We are America first. But unfortunately, the Republican Party is now the uniparty, and they're owned by foreign powers, foreign interests, banking interests, and you are last on their list. They could care less about you. So you need to take care of yourself. This system is probably going to collapse. Can we rebuild if we keep our military intact? And they say no to Joe. Then we can rebuild. A lot of issues on the table, aren't there? I would encourage you to go look up Dodd-Frank. By the way, you know who else is talking about this every day? Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck. And it's kind of interesting. I'm having his guest host on, Justin Barkley. I'm having him on, I believe it's either next week or the week after. and we're going to compare notes. But I don't know how long we have. I really, what is going to happen today? I don't know. Do we have a year? Absolutely not. Do we have 6 months? I don't know. I don't know. And this should make you act like you've got no tomorrow. And see, that means getting food, water, guns, gold, ammo, natural medicine, and tools. You need to be independent of the system as much as you can, and you have to be able to protect it. And I will tell you this, when you get storable food, water filtration, those devices, you need to hide them. I covered yesterday Senate Bill 4488. It's no longer in existence. They're going to bring it back and break it up so you don't know what's happening. But it's a continuity of government bill which gives them the right to take all your assets. Senate Bill 4488. Might want to go back and listen to what I had to say about it yesterday. And that was just a brief overview. And interestingly enough, on our TV show with Celeste, former FEMA official, we covered this in detail. She had the documentation. So I'm going to say, if you really want to keep on top of things in documentary fashion at extremely low cost, just pays for bandwidth, I would go to thecommonsenseshow.tv and sign up today. In fact, we're posting the Celeste interview tonight. And it was on Senate Bill 4488. And then when you see that, you'll say, okay, this validates everything Dave is saying. But I would encourage you, please, 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 go look up Dodd-Frank. That money is sitting in the bank. You better hope that when you need it in the near future and you start to do other investments with it, that they're going to be kind enough to give you back what was your money and is now their money. Well, that's it for the Common Sense Show. Make sure you sign up for thecommonsenseshow.tv, and we will see you back here again next time. May God protect all of us.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all the honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKakwadash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles of the Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching this word with 100% truth and sincerity. And unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning. And unto the Ba'ath of the elect house of David that is scattered abroad, I give you my utmost and sincere salutations, okay? So, what Dave Hodges of the Common Sense Show is talking about, Europe right now is pretty much going through a meltdown, falling apart, collapsing. So, and it says there in the title, Extreme Red Alert, European economic meltdown, and the contagion is already in America. So America is following suit of Europe. Okay, so this we're going to get the book of Ezekiel, the 16th chapter. Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 44, and it says, Behold, everyone that useth proverbs shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter. Okay? So, what that's saying is America came out of Britain. Britain is Big Mama, and of course, America is, the daughter. And just like its mother, America is fallen, of course. Excuse me. And as Dave Hodges said, the people in Europe right now, they're at riot status because of the shortages of supplies and resources. And and the man just said, we don't have a year. Absolutely not. 6 months, we don't know. But, all we can do is keep our eyes open, as let me get where's it at? Habakkuk. Let's see, this is going to be the book of Habakkuk. Habakkuk chapter 2. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3. And it says, For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Okay? So, so that right there tells you that, these prophecies are coming to pass. The war, the shortages, economic breakdown, getting rid of the cash. And America's, not the power that it once was. It's It's literally right in front of our faces. In fact, let me get it's going to be Second Esdras, chapter. Let's see. Let's see. I know it's in here somewhere. There we go. This is Second Esdras, chapter 16, verse 21, and it says, "Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap on earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion." Okay? So, as of right now, you know, things are not, you know, to the point where you cannot afford them. But eventually it's going to get to the point where those evils shall grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion, you know, war, riots, anarchy, and of course, there's not going to be, you know, no resources or supplies, no food or anything, and great confusion, because people are going to want to know what the hell's going on. They're going to want to know. They're going to want to get answers. So America is just, you know, following in the footsteps of her mother. You know, just falling apart. Okay, this is going to be the book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 11, and it says, "Because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine of my heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass, and bellow as bulls." Verse 12, "Your mother shall be sore confounded, she that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert." Verse 13, "Because of the wrath of the Lord it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues." Okay? So, your mother, Britain, shall be ashamed, and the hindermost of the nation shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert, because the wrath of the Lord it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Talking about America, aka Babylon. Because the Lord is going to destroy this place. Alright, this is going to be Jeremiah chapter 51, starting at verse 7. It says, "Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad." And he's right, they are mad, because you're seeing more and more uproars of the people. People are starting to take matters into their own hands, and they realize that their rulers do not give a shit about them in the slightest. And as Dave Hodge was talking about, when it comes to money, yeah, sure, we may have cash for a couple more months until I think it was July 1st, that they're going to get rid of cash completely and start going over to, like I said, the process of gradualism. So they get rid of cash, then it goes to the process of your debit card or credit card, and then after that, it comes the you-know-what. All right, and so this is verse 8, Jeremiah 51 and 8. But before I read that, you know, gold and silver, I mean, at this point, you know, if you can't afford it, but at the same token, same time, even that's going to be worthless, because like Dave Hodges just said, it's going to go to a barter trade. You know, you're going to be trading in certain items for certain things. So really, money's really not going to mean much at all. All right, Jeremiah 51 verse 8, it says, "Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed." Verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. So, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Why? Because she has striven against the Lord. Okay? She's going to fall. She's on life support right now. She's on her, like I said, we're at the feet now. Okay? And her judgment has reached up, and her pride and abomination have reached up to the heavens. Okay, so it's that pride. So the Lord's going to have to bring her down. Let's see. Obadiah. There you are. Okay. This is Obadiah, Obadiah chapter 1, verse 3, and it says, hold on, let's see. It says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Verse 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. So there you go. So there you go. This is the end for America. There's no coming back. Okay? If Big Mama Britain is crumbling, what do you think is going to happen to the daughter of America? This is it. America has no last chance. It's over. All right? So, I hope that this was edifying unto the body and to those that are new coming in, listening and learning with all sincerity. All right? I'd like to give all the honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles, the great millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching this word with 100% truth and sincerity. And unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning. And unto the Bayatha Dawadah, the elect house of David that is scattered abroad, I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. See you on the next lesson, Lord willing. Kwam Yasharallah, Wa Ababa Bal, Shalom, Barakatam.